Hi, I'm Char Schuld, coming to you from my studio, Char Schuld Studio. One of the things that I've done to work to reduce my carbon footprint is to become part of the Greater Stillwater Area's Green Business Directory. I had to go through a number of steps to show how and to put into place reducing my carbon footprint, especially since as a producer of a product, I use materials. So I want to be a conscientious user of the materials and what I create. Equipping my studio, I have actually enjoyed finding used furniture pieces that I can repurpose, and I've got over a dozen items in my studio. Just looking right here, I've got little tables that are movable. I found things at rummage sales and used furniture. So I actually enjoy that because I just am so disappointed with our throwaway society that we're just wasting so much, so I try not to do that. Another thing that I do is the equipment that I buy. For instance, my printer, and I have a air purifying system that I keep there. They are all Energy Star rated, so that's been important to me to make sure that I'm getting equipment that is good equipment. My printer has an eco system where it's filled with big tanks of ink instead of having to constantly replace little plastic cartridges. So that's been something I've been aware of. My paper for my printer is recycled paper, and I've worked to make sure, for instance, my paper towels are also 100% recycled paper. I use fabric washcloths and towels a lot, rather than trying not to use paper products any more than I have to. So these just get washed over in our eco-friendly washer and dryer. So working to have the whole system be as carbon reduced footprint as possible. What else have I done? Oh, my lighting. All my lighting is LED, and I especially like these lights where I can go up to daylight and down. So being in the basement, even though I have several windows, it tends to be a darker room. The LED lighting makes it just fine to work down here. And then the cost of them is so significantly lower. One of the things when I'm working, I paint mostly with acrylics and pastels. That's a plastic medium, and being aware of that, I studied and figured out a way to reclaim the dirty water that I create, so I'm not putting that dirty water down into the city's water system. So what I found is I'll take my dirty water, and when I get a gallon full of dirty paint water, I'm able to process it through a system that I found through Golden Art Products called the Crash system. My dirty water gets treated with an acid, a food grade aluminum sulfate, which kind of curdles and pulls together all the minerals, the colorants. And then after a certain amount of time, I put a base in, which is like garden lime. And after that is set for a while, I just pour that into this biodegradable filter, and the water gets cleaned. I get clean water down in the bucket, and all the minerals and the paint colorants in here can be thrown away. This is biodegradable because those are mostly minerals that have come from the earth also. And then I'm putting down into the city drain cleaned water that makes less of a problem for the city to handle what I've created. So these are just some of the things that I've done that I work to reduce how I use my materials and work to make things be as eco-friendly as possible. The last thing I can think of is I've been working on not storing things in plastic. So over in this part of my studio, scanning around, I have worked to store things in cardboard boxes, and some of these are now over a decade old and are holding up just fine. So having less plastic in my environment to me has been a profound and important thing to do. I understand that these are just little steps, but if everybody does these little steps, we'll just help make this wonderful world that God has given us a long-lasting place to be. So, thank you, Charlotte from Char Schuld Studio.